Then you were around like $5,000. But right now, this month so far, we made close to 20K, right?
Yeah.
You needed different mentors or coaches or courses for different things. It was not like all in one.
No, exactly.
And we started working together in March, and we are in 2025 right now. And people that do 100K per month, 200K per month in dollars, they don't track the numbers. Like, it's crazy.
It can help them, guide them better through their own mind. Like, what is it really that they want? It's like you learn something, I learn something, you learn something, I learn something. Yeah. So it's like a ping pong going back and forth. Instead of it's completely like you're the teacher, I'm the student, or reverse. Yeah. It's like we grow together in this and learn a lot of things together. Experiment, test some things, see if it's working, see if it's not working.
Welcome to this interview, everybody. I took the trip today to Copenhagen and to meet Sergej. And Sergej, welcome to my YouTube channel and where I'm uploading this video here also.
Thank you very much. It's an honor.
It's an honor, nice man. And can you just give people out there an introduction to who you are?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. My name is Sergej, and I run a real estate bootcamp here in Denmark, where I help people buy their first rental properties. It's like for Danish men and buying rental properties in Denmark, so everything is in Danish.
Okay.
So yeah, I myself bought a couple of rental properties. It took a long time. It was a tough process, and then I realized people don't have a straight way how to buy rental properties.
Yeah.
So I could create that.
Yeah. And that's actually also how we met, because I think like here in Denmark is a small country and most of the information on Google and YouTube is in English and on like something on USA, for example, and that's like different rules, because there's like different rules from what country you're in, and Denmark it's very hard, in my opinion, to find something good information on Google, YouTube and stuff like that. So that's also, we can start with how we met before we started working together, because now we work together, and right now this is the actually record month, so a good timing to record this video here also. And we started working together in mid-March 2025, and now we are in ending of July, 1 week back of July, a little bit Danish included also. But yeah, so we can just start with how we met. So you can just, I actually reached out to you. I think I saw one of your YouTube videos, I saw many of them, and then I booked a call in the description. And can you just tell me, because I remember you mentioned that not many people booked a call right from the YouTube description. So I was one of the first ones. I remember you said to actually book a call, like a research call, just from the YouTube description, and then we had a call. And can you just, what happened from your end there when we started talking together? And I think it was December.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. So it was pretty simple. I just had in my YouTube videos in the description that people can book a call, and then you booked a call. And I think when we were on the call, you seemed like quite young, but also very professional. Like you knew what you were talking about, so it was just a pretty good call. I would say, but you're very much in doubt. Should I do it later because I want to time it right and I'm gonna buy a rental property really fast, and that was your biggest concern. Well, it's funny to think about when we look back now. Yeah. That it was too early to start because you would be so fast to buy a rental property. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how we made you book a call, and then you were in doubt about a lot of things, but then we just started talking more and more and more, and then you joined the bootcamp, and then you started the process of buying a rental property.
Exactly. So I actually started in your program, and then because I'm also like, okay, I think it was a nice program, and I saw big potential because I saw many people like in other countries having like a big community and stuff like you did, but nothing really in Denmark. So I just thought, okay, there was a big gap in the market, and I think it lasted for like 3 or 4 months. I just tried to give you value and tips and tricks and stuff like that. And I don't remember that much, but I think, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was like in the start you're just like, okay, thank you, nice, good tips, you try to implement it yourself and stuff like that. And then I don't remember the turning point actually. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember. It was like because we had regular calls about real estate, and then at the end of the call, you would always ask like, so how's it going with the business? Yeah. And then I would say like, yeah, it's fine. It's like, oh, so what are you struggling with? And then it was different things in the different months. And then it was in March where you asked me, and I just came out of a very tough month. And then you're like, how is it going? And I was like, yeah, it's actually not too good because this. And then you're like, and then you had me on the hook. It's like, okay, let me hear more. What are you struggling with? And then I like then told you what I was struggling with, like the sales process. I didn't have a clear process. Maybe the sales calls, like my funnel in general. I had some. Everything wasn't structured. It was just like pretty random at the time. And then you were like immediately. Still very polite, not pushy at all, so that was also the cool thing about it. Then you're like, all right, I have some suggestions. You made a long Loom video for me. It was almost like 30 minutes where you said like, so this is what you're doing now. This is what I would suggest you're doing. You know, if you want to work together, I'm very excited about that because I think you have a very, very cool bootcamp, obviously since you're in it. But if you don't want to work together, just take this information and use it, whatever. But if you want to work together, I can also make a proposal about that. And then I should show it. Let me hear the proposal. You made a new Loom video where you outline how we could work together. And then I thought, yeah, this is a cool guy. And it makes sense because he knows my bootcamp since he's in it. So I felt it made a lot of sense.
Yeah. That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear. And can you just, now we are also like, you told me about in the start it was not like structured and there was many gaps, bottlenecks with the sales process and a lot of things like not predictable. It's also hard to make a predictable business. It's, you know, it's not that easy as many people make it sound like. But can you just tell me about also the situation, because you told me that before we started working, like in January, February, around there, you have some tough months. That was like, I think the baddest months you had so far, right? So can you just go a little bit through that? Not what went through your head, but again, you had your properties, your own properties, but you also needed to get some more revenue from this business, right? To have a good life with the money enough to everything, you know, you need to pay. So what went through your head like in the first months of? Because I remember you told me you had a quite good month in December, right? And then it was like January, February starting bad in 2025. So yeah, what thoughts were you sitting with there before we made contact about our partnership?
When you start out and like the next month is better than the previous month, the next month is better again, the next month is better again, you feel kind of that you cannot lose. And then suddenly, when the next month is then just like horrible, then you start to think, what if the coming months are also going to be like this? So it's like, I really felt I need to change something in my system to make it more predictable. I need to know that this is the inputs I need to put in to get the predictable outputs. And I did not have that system, and I was like breaking my head about how I should do it, what I should do about it. And that was the exact time that we had a call, so it was a very good time.
Yeah, and you also told me that you've been, you know, very much into also investing in yourself, right, in coaches and mentors before, right? You bought coaches, right, like LinkedIn and stuff like that. And so can you just go through because of course you learned some things from it also, but still not enough to get what you needed, like the systems and the predictable systems. So what do you think was the problem with those things you actually invested in?
No, it's not like I particularly feel that there was a problem. Like one of the courses I invested in, that was just like video material to help you set everything up, like how to set up I run everything in a school community, so how to set up the school community. So I used that, I set up the school community, so that was nice. Then another course I bought, it was a LinkedIn bootcamp, where I learned about how to set up your LinkedIn profile more as a sales page, how to post content on LinkedIn, so that I also used. But it's like the teachings there got me to a certain point, and to like go further from there, I needed a different kind of help. So that's more how I see it.
Makes good sense. Yeah, so it's like you needed different mentors or coaches or courses for different things. It was not like all in one.
No, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
And if we should talk, because I think people would also be interested in hearing a little bit of numbers. So if we should talk about like when we started working together in March, and we are in 2025 right now, then you were around like $5,000, right? 30,000 Danish crowns, that's around $5,000. It changed a lot, the dollar right now. And then if we go, you know, forward right now, this month so far we made close to 20K, right? So can you just go through like the things that, not what happened, but where you are today? Like, can you tell a little bit about like, okay, how people maybe sit and think, okay, how can you go from around 5K to nearly 20K in, what is that, March, April, 4 months or something like that?
Yeah, and even to add to that, it's not like it's been 5, boom, suddenly 20. It's like we gradually increased, so it was like 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. So it's been just going up since we started working together, which is nice.
Yeah,
thank you for that.
Of course, that's my job.
But yeah, we made some fundamental changes. I feel like in the beginning we were very good to articulate the value of the bootcamp better, which also immediately enabled us to take a different price, a higher price, because we could like showcase the value a lot better. So, and we made the bootcamp better, so we could justify taking a higher price without and it made sense, and it still feels like too cheap. So probably we're also gonna raise the prices even more in the future.
Yeah.
Then we made like a structure, so the only inputs before were pretty much like LinkedIn and some YouTube, and then we started to experiment with a lot of more traffic channels like short form, TikTok, Instagram, also paid ads. We introduced also YouTube Shorts. So we had a lot of different methods of getting traffic, which spiked the number of leads we're getting. And also all the bottlenecks that I had personally, we started working on that. For instance, I didn't have time to contact all the leads and generate all the traffic at the same time. So we got an appointment setter to help us out to call and greet the new members, which has also been quite a good success. We set up some automations so we could get in contact with people automatically, independent of me having to sit and do all that work, which was quite nice.
Yeah. And I think also one of the things that really, personally, when I sit and work, I think one of the things that make work simple for me is like tracking everything. So like knowing every number, and we started putting up systems. For example, from the free community on school, people should choose where they saw you before, so we can actually track where people came from in the community. So we know where is the best effort, where is the highest return of investment, and that's also, we will talk about that I think later in the talk here about like the future strategies and future thoughts. But also like focusing on things with highest return of investment. So we basically have a tracking sheet where we know, okay, we can see what works good and what is the bottlenecks, and then we can fix the bottlenecks from there. Because if you don't measure it, you can't what can you say, handle it. You can't do it better if you don't measure it. So I think also tracking has been one of the very important things also to mention, because I hear it's crazy, because I talk with business owners a lot of times also, and also from yeah, that's what I do, and also maybe from I think from other countries where they think bigger than many people do in Denmark, and people that do 100K per month, 200K per month in dollars, they don't track the numbers. Like it's crazy. They maybe know my closing rate is around this, but they don't know it exactly, and just like crazy. Okay, so regarding the tracking, we figured out one thing. Maybe you could also feel it when you were on calls with people, but one of the bottlenecks when we started working together was the closing rate, right? The meetings also, because you had some foundations and stuff like that, but I just thought, okay, it was still kind of low, so I made a plan on how we could increase it. So I gave you everything I knew about sales, and we worked, I think, for weeks, maybe months also, where you sent all the calls to me, I analyzed, and then we just had mock calls and training calls, and I think the closing rate has also increased from, I think, under 10% there was a time, and now it's, I don't know if you have updated the tracking sheet yet, but around 20, 25, maybe around.
Yeah, I think this month is even more.
30% around it, I actually think,
But yeah, actually also it helped a lot, because before, like the sales call, they were quite random. There wasn't like a script. I wasn't following a process, what I was to ask. I was just like shooting from the hip what I was talking about, because it's easy for me to have a conversation, but that's pretty much what it was, like a conversation. And then it's like you're just hoping for the best. But now you gave me this structured approach, how to talk with people, which question to ask them in which order, which also makes it easier for me to actually help them, because I can how can I say, compartmentalize whatever they're telling me about. So if they have this excuse or if they have this excuse, I can help them, guide them better through their own mind. Like, what is it really that they want? And then it's so much, the picture becomes so clear for me, whether it will be a good match or if it's not. And if I honestly believe it's a good match and I feel that they are in their own way of helping themselves, then this script made it so much easier for me to actually have a spot-on conversation with them, cutting to the bone instead of like talking around it.
Yeah, and I think one of the most important things you just mentioned there is that you change your mindset to that you need to be on calls with people to help them, not to push something down their throat or sell them something. You need to help them figure out what they actually want, because they don't book a call with you if they're not interested. They don't see your content and still be interested, and they don't spend like, let's say 30, 45 minutes on you with a call if they're not interested. So the reason why people still make excuses and will feel uncomfortable and stuff like that in the ending of the call when you mention the price or waiting for them to take action, it's because they have their their own way, their old way of thinking. They're old, they have their comfort zone. They know what they get from their comfort zone, but we all know that the only way you can actually do something else in life is get out of your comfort zone. And the only way they can get out of comfort zone is to get help. And the reason why they're on call with you is because they want you to help them. So if, like, as I also mentioned to you many times before, it's your responsibility to help them. It's your responsibility to handle the objections they have. It's your responsibility to tell them about, okay, the fear they have is okay, it's normal, but tell them how it works, why they have it, and why they can remove it. Because they came on the call because they want you to help them. And if you're already on the call, just say, okay, it's totally all right, you just need to think about it 1 year and talk with your wife 10,000 times before making action, then it's totally fine. But if you just said it was totally fine, then like imagine if they actually started up with you and you just, they told you, oh, Sergej, I didn't have time to make the task you told me about real estate now. Oh, Sergej, I didn't have a call with my bank. Oh, Sergej, I didn't use the right presentation all the time, just, not doing the stuff. And then you're not helping them. And if you just were like, okay, it's totally fine, you didn't do the job, it's totally fine, you didn't call the bank, then it's like, okay, you don't help them. And it already starts in the sales process. You need to help them there with actually realizing what is the barrier they have in their head for the reason, for like why they're not taking action, So yeah, I think the overall thing that just, needs to be up in your head is like, you're just here to help them. You don't want to sell them something. You only want to help them if they want your help. And you need to help them realize what they actually want and how they will get it.
I agree.
So I think that's also been one of the biggest things. And yeah, to be honest, we had many calls in the start and I used a lot of hours also, but I knew it was worth it. And now we see the outcome. Like we see that, I think this month here, many of the calls you had, you told me there were still objections, but you found a way. Sometimes you split up the payment. Sometimes you just told them like, come on, man. Like you told me this and you've been waiting for so long time and you got this, like, come on. And you're getting better at actually just seeing, as you said before, seeing what should you do in this situation to actually get the outcome they want and you want. Right?
Yeah, because it's so interesting when you start to speak with them, they say like, yeah, this is my dream, this is my goal, this is really what I want to achieve. I've been trying to do it on my own the last 5 years. This is really, really what I want. And then when it comes to like signing up, then they start to hesitate. And then but this is really your dream. And then after you have the evidence, you have the proof of people who started the program, who started to seeing progress towards the goal, how happy they are and how satisfied they are and how they completely think it's completely worth it to invest into getting that knowledge on how to go for your dreams. Yeah. Then it was like, and then you're in the conversation with the guy who's hesitant towards the end. Then it feels so natural that you want to push him over, not like also, of course, also for me, but also for himself, because you have seen it 20 times before that once he takes the leap, he will become extremely happy that he did so. Yeah. Because he's been trying to do that for the last 10 years without any success.
Exactly. So yeah, that's one of the things we really worked on, and I think that's one of the keys also. Yeah, there's also some other keys, of course. Like we have, as we talked about, the appointment setter also has been one of we actually just had a call before with him and figured out something new that really can help him and help us also in the future. But if we just talk about the appointment setter, I think that was one of the first things I also said we should implement, because one thing is that you get a lot of traffic and leads in, but another thing is how do we actually convert them? Before we working together, I know you tried a little bit of LinkedIn DMs from lead magnets and tried to book in a call. Didn't really book any calls from it. How did you book calls before we started working together? Because yeah, I know I came in from YouTube description, but I don't actually remember right now. So I'm just asking also because I don't remember.
Yeah, so that was just one of these cases of trying to throw something at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah.
So it was people joined the free group I have in our school. Then they joined there. Then they can book a call themselves. Some of them I was chatting with in the DMs. Some of them were on LinkedIn. Some of them were in the LinkedIn DMs. Some booked through my LinkedIn profile. Some booked through the YouTube videos. Where there in the description there was a link to book a call. So there was a bit of different methods.
Yeah.
A bit random.
Yeah, and now we focused on actually structure it a little bit more. So now we have a customer journey. We mapped it out on I don't know what you use. You normally use Figma. You can use Miro board, Figma board, whatever, those kind of stuff where you can make some visualization. We have that when we work together. We have like a document, a roadmap with to-do list and deadlines and vision and everything, so we know what to do, the goals, how we reach the goal, the tracking sheet, everything is centralized in there. And then we also have the visualization of the board we made. So we actually just always, because one thing is noting it down, but I personally prefer something visual, because it's, I think for most people it's easier to understand and just like stick to what we actually need to focus on when we have it in front of us, visual. So that's like one of the ways now is the appointment setter. And the way we do it right now is that he basically reached out to every single new lead. And I think actually, I think it was a couple of days ago, you closed 2 people 2 days in a row, and that was actually 2 of them he called also, right?
Yeah. And it's really nice the way that we structured it, because my biggest fear is always like, how should you say, my brand. Yeah. Because I don't want to do anything that's sleazy. I don't want to do anything that's unethical. I don't want to do anything that's like pushy. So it's always about like finding the balance. How do we make sure that we get in contact with people, but without seeming like sleazy or anything, because that will deteriorate the brand, and I don't like that. So the way we actually did it with the appointment setter, I think it feels quite natural, but he pretty much calls up new people, like asks them like, hey, nice that you joined, greets them, like welcome to the group, and then he just asks some basic questions to figure out where they are. If someone is like just browsing or looking or curious, he like says, very nice, here's the course material, everything and the documents, everything is for free, enjoy, have a good time, reach out if you have any questions. Yeah. And then if they are like, they're qualified, they want to buy something now, then their best course of action is to take a call with me, so I can guide them all the way through. Yeah. So it feels very natural, and it honestly feels like we're actually helping people. Yeah. That's why I think it's a great solution as well.
Exactly. That's I think also many people, I remember personally by myself also, when I struggled the most in my business, where I just were most desperate for actually getting the sales. Where I just thought, oh, now I need to get the sale actually, because I don't want to get my ego down, because I as you said in the start also, we want to go up all the time as people. We want growth, and especially when you're a self-employed, have your own business, and when you see it goes down, you will, in my opinion, do often a lot more to actually try to keep it up or get record months after record months. But sometimes it's also just like, I experience oftentimes when you try the most, you get the least. So when you just like try it actually just to help people and just try to focus on giving value and try to do better, then everything just comes naturally. So I think that's also been one of the reasons, because you focus a lot of on long-form YouTube videos now, and that's just like pure value. People can spend a lot of time with you also, and just one of your latest video just went kind of viral in the niche in Denmark, I would say. Like it was, I think it's the best performing one, right? Because someone didn't pay the rent for one of your properties. So yeah, you can, if you're Danish, you can go also, a little shout out to Sergej, you can go on his YouTube channel also, there will be a link in the description also, and go and watch that video, because even though I work with Sergej, I watched the 30 minutes straight also because I thought it was a nice and interesting video. So yeah, the long form videos is one of the keys also in this, I feel like, and that's also one of the things we are focusing on more, because now I think we have recorded for 30 minutes. So if we should talk a little bit about like the future plans, because now, yeah, we went from 5K, around 5K to close, hopefully going to hit over 20K this month. Now we're going to see, we have 1 week left in 4.5, 5 months or something like that. And we want to expand more. We have many plans, many thoughts, and I know you're the guy that wants to do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And I'm also the guy that thinks that's a good idea, but sometimes I'm just, putting ideas on the table, and then we're just talking about, okay, what is the next step? So we already have the next steps in front of us, like if we're going to work together for many years, hopefully it still works out there. So we already have laid out the plan. But if we look at the next steps from here, can you just tell me, not tell me, but also like the people watching this video, you don't need to tell everything and expose everything what we're going to do, but just a little bit about like, okay, now we went from 5 to close to 20K per month in 5 months. What is the next step to go to 30, 40, 50K? What is our plan that we actually had a meeting about earlier today?
So the next step from here is my goal is not so much to like only focus on revenue, because the next step from here is to make the product even better. Because that's extremely important, that your base is so solid, so when you scale, nothing will break. Because if you just scale and get more and more and more customers, you need to deliver results for them. And what I really want to collect is like the testimonials. So in order to do that, need to have the best product, need to make sure that everyone who gets in the bootcamp, they really think it's the coolest place they've ever been, and that it's the best investment they ever made in their life. That's like what I'm aiming for. Because when that base is completely set in stone, then it's easier to get more and more and more people in. But it's gonna become very hard if you get a lot of people in and everything is shaky and starts to crumble and fall apart and people are dissatisfied and so on. So that is like the next step right now. And then the next steps from there would be to, how do we convert the people from the elite to getting them on a call with me? That will be the next step. And me personally, I like Alex Hormozi a lot, so I take a lot of shout out to him. I follow a lot of his advice, and his one of his things is like always more, better, new. So if something is working, just do more of that. When you cannot do any more, try to make that thing better. And once you've done more and better, then only then go to something new. So I feel like YouTube is the platform that works very good for me, and I want to keep on going on YouTube, making more content there, then making it better, and only then try to focus on a new traffic source.
So that makes super good sense. You need to have a good foundation, of course, before you scale up a business, because that's the most important. And also, as we talked about right now, instead of just putting a lot of leads into a funnel that's not 100% optimized, and imagine sailing in a boat and there's holes in the boat and there's just like water coming in, then it's also hard to come forward. And it's the same here. We need to fix all the bottlenecks in the ending of the funnel, and then we can just scale up in the start of the funnel and put more down in the funnel. So that's the next steps, and I'm has always been pretty confident in this, and very I see huge potential in it. And maybe in 5 years we are also in other countries globally, and not only Denmark. So that's the first step. But if you just like here, I think we have around 5 minutes back. So if you can tell a little bit about, just so people get an understanding of our partnership, how is our partnership like? First of all, there's many people out there on LinkedIn, on Instagram, people that reached out to you regarding marketing, content, everything like that. So you mentioned a little bit previously that I was in your program also, and that's also one of the reasons why you choose to work with me. But can you tell a little bit more about like why are you still choosing to work with me, and why did you do it in the start? And also, like, what is the, you can maybe include it, but what is the work that I'm also doing? How is our partnership?
Yeah, so I just felt like you were genuinely interested in how I was doing, and you genuinely really believed in this project, and you genuinely wanted to help. So that's like basically it. And that was the first part that like got me intrigued, and because when you have some kind of bit, you get so many DMs all over the place of people want to help with this and that.
Yeah.
But this like genuinely felt like you cared. So that piqued my interest. And then when you actually came up with the plan, it was combined with, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. This seems like extremely smart.
Yeah.
So that was the second part of it.
Yeah.
So I decided, yeah, let's try it out. It's better to try it out. Like the worst thing that happens is that nothing changes, and then we just stop working together again. That's it, you know.
Yeah.
So it was no brainer to just test it out.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting with a solopreneur and just sitting with everything alone, all your thoughts alone, it's extremely nice to have someone you can talk with, spar with, make plans with, execute with, someone you're accountable to. Like, hey, you need to make this before tomorrow, and then it needs to be done before tomorrow rather than within a week or something.
Yeah.
So it's like the timeline becomes faster as well.
Yeah.
So you helped me with a lot of different things. It just feels like you're a business partner of mine, like an external business partner almost.
Yeah.
Because we spar about everything, and we make plans together. You have a to-do list, I have a to-do list. Like we split them up. Most of the content, of course, I need to do that. But you help me with a lot of the practical stuff, like how we collect testimonials. Then it feels like in a couple of hours you set up a complete testimonial page with all my testimonials. That might have taken me an entire day because I'm not so good at that. It's not that it's extremely difficult, but it's like you just did it so fast. Boom, it's done.
Yeah.
It's up and running. You know, let's get it out in the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, very nice. And I've maybe been sitting with this in my thoughts for a couple of weeks or something, and you just set it up in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So it's very, very nice. And then you're also proactive all the time. You track all the numbers, you analyze them. You like say, hey, we need to fix this thing, or this is our bottleneck, and this month suddenly this number dropped. Why did it do that? We need to investigate this. So it's like you're on top of the numbers, so I can just focus on getting the YouTube videos and helping the actual clients.
Yeah.
That is like my focus, and everything around that you pretty much take care of that and steer the boat. So that's very nice.
Yeah, and I also think, and first of all, thanks for, I think it was nice words. I will take it as nice words to me also. So thanks for that. And I think also one of the things that's the reason why our partnership works good is, yeah, first of all, if we should look at the first thing is because I came into your program first, so you know I actually have an interest in the topic also, and you as a person, you know, that's the first step. So I'm actually interested in it. It's not just like a horse web shop or something like that we are running.
Oh, good old horse web shops.
You know, it's not like that. So it's actually something I'm interested in, and you know, and that's, I think, the first thing. The second thing is also that I think also we talk good, better and better personally together, like also out of work. And now I just came here today and we ate some lunch and, you know, talked a little bit about some personal stuff also. And, you know, I think that's also nice to actually just, you know, also make fun, have fun together. Like not only just work, very serious, but also that we can sit here and laugh and make jokes. We have a lot of internal stuff going on also with jokes only. But I think that's also one of the key things. And then the third thing is, like, as you say, also we have some deadlines and some to-do list, so we keep each other accountable. That's one of the, I think, best things. And also that we have each other to, you know, talk about things with. If this is not working, it's not just my own head and my ChatGPT, but it's also another person that actually knows what this is about, you know. And you also get better and better all the time to understand, because every time I explain something in the marketing or back-end structure or sales or whatever, you actually just soak it in and understand it, and then next time we talk about it, you can also come with a lot better inputs on that topic also. So I think that's probably one of the, you know, that's from my point of view some of the most important reasons why it's working good.
Yeah, and I would say that also, I don't know which word to use, But it's like every time you teach me something, I understand it, then I try it, we implement it, and then I can come back and tell you like in details why something is not working.
Yeah.
And you're not just like stubborn and then you say, yeah, it is working. It's like, but then you're like, think about it. All right, you might be right. This makes sense. Let's pivot. So it's like you learn something, I learn something, you learn something, I learn something.
Yeah.
So it's like a ping pong going back and forth. So it also feels like instead of it's completely like you're the teacher, I'm the student, or reversed. Yeah. It's like we grow together in this and learn a lot of things together, experiment, test some things, see if it's working, see if it's not working, we analyze it together, and that also feels quite nice.
Exactly, and I think that's also one of the keys that we actually, you know, because I think many people, you know, from many people's point of view, maybe you hired me as the expert and the agency, for example, or just like the expert, the consultant expert. But I think many people will just tell you, no, Sergej, you need to do this, you need to do this, and you need to do this. There are sometimes things that I tell, let's try this out, and you want to focus on something else before, and we find a way where we both happy, you know. So we, you know, it's not like I'm just, again, as you say, shutting down your ideas, and now we also stop some things that I think that were necessary, but I understand your way of thinking, and in the end, it's your business. I know it's your business, it's your brain. You spend a lot of time and years to learn all that knowledge and build up the business. So you know, I know that in the end it's your choice, because of course you have most to say, because it's your business, as we said. So it's like, I feel it's a good combination. So there's no like bad vibes where if you do something I don't think it's a good idea, I'm just like, no, it's like, why are you doing that? That's stupid. Or the other way around. We always like curious about why we're doing things, testing out and making conclusions on data, but also like values, I think, on long-term visions for you also and your brain. Because one thing is getting a lot of revenue and profit and whatsoever and scale really fast, but as you also said, another thing is actually creating the best brand on the market. And right now I don't see anybody else out there doing better in real estate coaching space, or what you want to call it, in Denmark. Like I don't see it. Maybe also because I'm biased a little bit, but I don't believe there's other people out there doing better, and we want to do better all the time. And when I say do better, it's not on revenue or profit, it's actually getting the most testimonials. And as you said, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, I made the testimonials page, and now we just launched it, I think yesterday or today. So now we also have a whole page, and we will just keep continuing putting testimonials in there, so people can actually see this is the best product, and everybody is very happy about it. And that's the first goal, because as we talked about before, if we actually focus on value and helping people, then everything else will follow. The revenue, the profit, everything that you deserve will follow. So yeah, that's super nice. I think we will come to an end now. Let me just check, because I think, that's I think normally what I do also, and I would like to hear from you, this is just like your thoughts on, as a business owner, if you should give 3 tips to people, you know, watching out there also, if they already have their own business or just like very close to start their own business. Mostly for people already being in the business space, and maybe they feel a little bit stuck, or they were kind of the same situation as you were, or they want to scale up. Just like 3 tips, and it don't need to be anything about me or just, you know, work with me. I don't want stuff like that. Just like, if someone came out to you and just asked you for 3 tips to like one self-employed to another.
Yeah, so I would just maybe just give one. Yeah. And it's find someone who can help you. And by that I mean not necessarily like work with something with someone like Lucas, but for me what the beginner thing is, like I found maybe Alex Hormozi. That has been the one person that I have listened the most to. Yeah. And then I've just like done everything that he said. But then it can also be a bit difficult to just copy everything that he says, because some of his advice is like general, and then you need to implement it. So always find someone who you really like, take their advice and just do exactly as they say. Turn off your own brain and do exactly what they say. Once you've done that, then you can analyze and say, was it good, was it bad? But until you like found someone you really like, took their advice, turned off your brain, did exactly what they say, and then afterwards you can analyze.
Yeah, that's a good tip also. And I think if we should end on something, I think one of the main issues many people do is they choose 10 people to take tips from.
Yeah, one.
And then it's like, you know, combining 10 different recipes for a cake. Yeah. You can't combine it, it will be very bad. Yeah. So it's the same here. You need to find one person. Of course, I think when you're getting more advanced and have more experience, you will be better to actually, you know, filter out what's good, what's bad. So you can maybe take some more people to take inspiration from. But from the first years, 1, 2, 3 years, again, take one person and just again, I think have a good gut feeling about the person, and it should also be a person that either help other people as you, or someone that already did what you want to do. But also gut feeling says that I don't think the gut feeling will be there if the person didn't achieve anything you want to achieve. So it's, you know, it's together.
I agree.
Yeah, that was it. Now it's I think 45 minutes done now, and we can look into that camera because the other one turned off. But it was a pleasure to have you here. Actually, me here in Copenhagen. It's your place here. It's a pleasure for me to come here and have you on the interview. And also, again, in the ending, Sergej is having, this is more for the Danish viewers. Maybe you can also use Google Translate for if you're from another country, something like that. Maybe in the future it will be something for not Danish people, but if you're Danish people, I will link here a link to Sergej's community, just like the free community everybody starts with under here. You can also find him on social media, watch his YouTube videos, stuff like that. If you're interested, of course, in what you're doing and the real estate space, because I see more and more people are interested in that topic. We get more and more people in the community, so I think that's a sign. So if you're also interested in that, then go down here somewhere and find his links or search on his name. His name will come up on the screen. I'll have my editor edit the name in now. So that was everything for this video. Remember to like, comment down below, subscribe if you like the video, all the right signs here, and then thanks for watching. Bye bye.